Hello, Swivelheads. It's Greg Allison with Green Rigs. Come to you again tonight here with more and more news. As you know, the world is not a peaceful place right now. That's a gross understatement. Hang on, I got to. Allison with Greg. Forgot to mute my computer. I've been tired today. It's been a long day for me, and sometimes it's a challenge here to get all the little bells and whistles set up properly at first. Okay, there's a lot of work to do in making YouTube videos. But let's get into it. We're just going to go straight into the news tonight, and because I want to make it quick and short. I am going to fuss about one thing though as I get into it here. Hit the share button. I shared this with you last time we went live. I talked about this General Giuseppe Cavo-Dragon. He is NATO's military, he is the chairman of NATO's military committee. And he was the one saying that there could be a preemptive strike against Russia due to some of the things they've been doing would be considered or could be considered a defensive measure. Now, I'm going to tell you what, I posted this on one of the Facebook groups, and I had several people in there jump in and call me a liar. And, and that really ticked me off. And, NATO wouldn't do that. NATO didn't say that. Well, this guy is one of the key officials in NATO. And of course, they said, well, NATO would never do a preemptive strike. Well, they actually already have. Yes, sir. NATO went into Serbia, which is way off the charter of the defense of NATO nations. Now, you can justify if you want one way or the other, but NATO went into Serbia and basically attacked a Christian nation in favor of Muslim nations. But did the Muslim nations give us much thanks for that? No, we had 9/11 after that. So what appreciation do we get for doing things like that? But it seems like all around the world, who's getting attacked all the time? Christians. There's some real common denominator to that. And frankly, we ought to say something about it. Hang on. That is something we ought to not be too liking. But it's always seeming to be the same thing. One faith attacks another, which faith attacks who. But it's not everybody in the Muslim world. It's the jihadists, and there's a certain subset. But anyway, I've worked with some good, had Muslim neighbors. I've worked I had a Muslim boss, a Muslim cube-mate. My main study buddy in college was Muslim. But it does seem to be coming more from that side. So I don't know, guys, maybe there needs to be some attitude adjustment in the world. Like I said, we're not going to survive in this world with all the hatreds that we got today. We're just not going to make it. But yeah, I got attacked for this roundly in some of the posts I put on some of the Facebook groups, which were in prepper groups. It's like, really? But anyway, you wouldn't expect that sometimes, but that's some of the stuff that happens. But, absolutely called me a liar. And so when I posted the facts, did they come back and apologize? No. Did anybody say that we're wrong? No, of course not. But anyway, so much for all that. But I also get, some heat on this channel when comments sometimes. I've got a lot of thumbs down recently on some of my videos. And sometimes people occasionally come in. If somebody's going to give a thumbs down or unsubscribe, I like them to tell me what they're unhappy about. Now, I can't make everybody happy. And one thing a couple people commented to and got some thumbs up their comments was, just saying, Greg, you're always fear-mongering. No, I'm not. I've done videos on homesteading out here, but people don't watch them. I've done videos on, my universal habitat and other things. I got some hopeful messages. I even, here's another thing. What I don't do and what's really killing my channel is I don't post thumbnails like Newark Prepper. It's red alert, sky's falling, red alert, they're attacking, it's all happening, or Hookstead, for example. The bombs are falling and blah, 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 or, I don't go out like Canadian Prepper. Every minute, everybody's going to war and everybody's in on it, and Donald Trump is going to take us into war. and just on and on and on and on and on and on. I don't do that. And I think the man actually is trying to get a peace treaty. I don't like everything he does by a long shot, but um, but it's really hurting my channel that I don't do that, because those are the videos that go boom, and mine's, and yet people come on and attack me and accuse me of being a blah blah. And I guess I'm gonna lose a lot of people right now just for saying this, but the heck with it. Sometimes you just got to stick up for yourself. So if you're mad because I'm putting it out there, then bye, get out of here, scram. Jeez. I mean, some people, you can't make everybody happy, but I put out the videos that get the most views. And then I'm talking to you about just what's going on in the world right now. And it's not pretty. It's not pretty by any stretch of the imagination. It's something else. No amount of me smiling and being happy is going to get our grid secured. No amount of me smiling and being happy is going to make Xi Jinping decide he don't want to attack and dominate the world. The red dragon is in the Bible of all things. So, no amount of smiling and being happy and talking about daisies and roses is going to fix those things. I do what I do to get you guys aware, to be ready to prepare. And I've even put out of my own pocket and funded the Freedom Restoration Foundation website. I need a website manager for it. We need to get our group more active again. But what's on there? It tells you how to contact your Congress critters, and I give you enough ammo for things you ought to call them and grouse at them about. So these are all things to take into account. I'm not saying that we're going to go to heck in a handbasket tomorrow or the next day, but I do say, if you've seen my Cycle of Civilization videos, nothing lasts on this planet. No governments last. No stable climatic period lasts. There's volcanoes. There's all kinds of mayhem that comes, and these are reasons to get prepping. And, I put out there my universal habitat. It's one of the best things, I hope to build one here if I can get the wherewithal and some money, a few pennies to rub together. I plan to build one right out here, and that'll make a great set of videos. So, and, other things I plan to do is I plan to put out some, videos, some more hopeful videos on my Galactic Greg's channel about how we can develop space to avert a lot of these issues. That's why I became a space advocate a long time ago, is because I saw structural issues with the idea of long-term survival on Earth. But I didn't realize that our threats were so near-term originally, which I come to appreciate later, especially when I saw the weaknesses in our power grid. I was already something of a prepper, but by gosh, I really amped it up then. I got involved in power grid defense because I'm proactive and trying to do things. See, that's another. What other prepping channel? Name me one other prepping channel that has somebody that's actually members of committees trying to fix this stuff. None. All they do is get on here and go, ah! And then people attack me. Come on. I'm trying to fix things, and I'm trying to also help you guys to be aware to take care of yourselves. So, spare me the grief. If you want to get all that grief, go chew on your knuckles or something. I don't know, because I am actually not pessimistic. I'm actually hopeful, and I believe in God and Jesus Christ. But, but that's not saying we're going to have a smooth ride. There's nothing in the book of Revelations, in the books of Daniels, that's saying our ride is going to be a fairy tale ride down some canal with roses growing on the side everywhere. You got to be prepared. You got to be ready. Look what happened in Rome as the Christian faith was getting established. They were fed to the lions, but they still kept their faith, didn't they? So, I'm putting it out there, guys. And, if you don't like it, then get out of here. Scram. But I'd like for you to tell me what you don't like. Yeah, I'd like to hear it, but man up. But, don't expect I might not defend myself. Especially when you come on and tell me everything I put out here is fear-mongering. No, it's not. It's not. And like I said, I do gardening videos. I've done a ton of stuff in the past, but when I do that stuff today, people just don't watch it that much. I may try some more. Maybe the audience will come back. But I could do a lot of different content. But right now, we got threats, and you need to be aware of them. I'm not saying World War III is going to happen tomorrow morning. I didn't ever say it was going to attack Venezuela tomorrow morning. And it may not happen, but it looks like it's what we're geared up for. How's that going to affect us here at home? It could be activation sleeper cells. A lot more people have started talking about that lately. And when I didn't hear anybody talk about sleeper cells when I started talking about it. I started talking about sleeper cells way back in 2018. Who else talked about that topic back then? I was aware of it. And there wasn't nobody talking about it, as far as I know. Now lots of people are talking about it. I talked about it's all the threats that we were facing. But, here's another thing I've done. You know, a lot of channels, every thumbnail was, it's over, it's over, it's over. I did a video, said it's not over. It didn't get nothing. The ones that said it's over were getting tons of views. But me saying it's not over, wah, 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 wah. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to come in and go, it's hard for me to do that though. Uh, but the fact is, there's war in the world right now, and there's tensions of war. There's wars and rumors of wars, just like in the Bible. And these countries got nuclear weapons, and we keep poking a bear. It might just react. But here's another thing: we came to the verge of nuclear war many times with the Soviet Union. And even after the Soviet Union fell with Russia, when Yeltsin was there, because of a launch of a Black Brant rocket from Norway, the guys launching the rocket, some of the guys I knew from Wallop Space Flight Center were there. They notified the proper desk in Russia, but the guy at the desk didn't call back up into Moscow and tell them. And what happened? They saw this one missile coming up, looking like it's coming out of the Barents Sea, which matched the model for how we might EMP tackle Russia, and then our whole fleet of missiles will be coming over the horizon after that. And Yeltsin's generals were telling him, you got to launch, you got to launch, you need to launch right now. They all had their footballs open, and Yeltsin's going, I don't think Bill Clinton would do this to me. He'd have been a little drunker on vodka. Who knows what would have happened? That was a close call. We've had many close calls. And that's always been between just the United States and Russia or Soviet Union. Now, China has nukes. Now, North Korea's got nukes, and they're aiming at us. That might be that Iran would get them. What would Iran do? And furthermore, we got a couple of other countries aimed at each other, Pakistan and India. They've had some wars. Now, nukes aren't going to be used right off the bat, no. Those are best used as a deterrent. But when the war is going on, if you're feeling fear and existential threat, somebody might use them. If somebody thinks they're being launched on, they might use them. We came close to launching more than once, many times. And so did Russia. We've been playing Russian roulette with the Russians. Now we're playing it with lots of players. How long can we survive that? How long can we get by with that? How long can we manage ourselves with all this stuff happening? So that's a risk. I should do a video just on that alone, because that, and here's the other dimension. I mentioned this too in the past. When it was always United States and Russia and just intercontinental ballistic missiles and bombers, it takes a long time for them to get over the pole. You got time to look at it and go, is this really happening? Well, today with hypersonic missiles that could be launched from the sea near us, that could reach within minutes, we don't have the luxury of time that we used to have. So when you think about that, we're much more on a hair trigger in this world today than we were historically when we had all those near misses. That's the scary thing. To me, that may increase the probability of something bad happening at some point in the future. Let's hope and pray it don't. Somehow, through the grace of God, most likely we have managed to survive many times. But probabilistically, we probably shouldn't have, but we did, thank God. But how long are we going to get by with this? How long are we going to survive going forward? I don't know, my friends, but to just put your head in the sand and think all's well, nothing's wrong, is naive. And so those people that just want to chastise me for trying to tell you guys to be prepared and the risk are in the world, I view that as naive too. I don't live in fear. I tell you, don't be scared, be prepared. All you can do is prepare as best you can. Contact your Congress critters and vote in such a way that you hope will kind of perpetuate freedom and get nonsense out of the House and be right with your maker. Because when it all boils down, that's going to be the most important thing in the end. Protect your family, be right with your maker, we're in a time right now where we got a lot of chaos in the streets in this country, and there may be threats that bring that up. I talk about that, but what I tell you to do, be situationally aware. I also tell you to keep your gas tank full. I've got tons of videos on how to bug out, how to survive nuclear war, how to survive EMP, grid down. I got video on that. I got video on certain devices that make a lot of claims, reading down their, reading through their test sheets and comparing the spec they said they matched. Hmm. You know, nobody else does that. Nobody else does that. Why? Because they're selling that cheap junk and making a ton of money on it. $200 a pop. Man, me talking about grid defense, I could have made a killing doing that. But, there's some things I can't do. I got to look in the mirror, guys. But do I get any appreciation for that? No, everybody goes, watch those guys. Then you got this knucklehead channel that tells everybody the whole world slips on its crust, slips over 90 degrees every 12,000 years, and you get 2 mile high tidal waves. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And I've done video where I've just tore out all the pieces, and yet I get accused of being a fearmonger. I've tore other things apart. We had another channel that's real popular back a few years ago, 2 years in a row, said, hey, we had a swarm of comets coming that's going to hit us any minute. I go, no, it's not. And I gave it my justification for why it wasn't. We got enough real things in this world to be concerned about that we don't need to add up a bunch of junk like that. So, and I've had people call me, contact me. Greg, this other channel says this is going down. It's happening. I said, no, it's not. Calm down. They're just over there doing this. So, but yeah, people come on here and attack me. All right, fine. I do bring stuff out here, but like I said, it's to keep people situationally aware. I'm laughing. You see me laughing? Uh, you know, I'm not on here being scared. Have you ever seen me be scared? Have I ever said to panic? No. I always tell you to never panic. But anyway, all right, enough of that. Enough of that. I just wanted to set the stage straight because I get that a lot, and sometimes it gets weary, especially when people are unsubscribing left and right. My views are dropping like a rock because I don't do what these other guys are doing. Maybe that's what I need to be doing. At least somewhere. I probably need to be a little more sensation just for the stupid thumbnails and titles. And a lot of channels out here, there are channels that put stuff out like that, and at least one or two people like Curtis Strong used to apologize for it. He said, well, I can't get nobody to watch if I don't do this. At least he apologized for it. But it's the truth on YouTube. If you really want to do something, go. My channel should have millions of subscribers and viewers for the kind of content I put out. You got a bunch of people out there talking about power grid defense and or EMPs and stuff. They don't know jack diddle about it. I'm on the Task Force on National Homeland Security founded by Peter Van Cry. I'm a rocket scientist. I know engineering. Got an electrical engineering degree. I know a few things about it. So, but somebody just talking out, yapping out their mouth, not knowing what they're talking about, will get 20 times more views than me, easy or more. Easy, easy, any day, any day. And I don't know why. I do think this platform stomps me a lot, but I think people like nutcase stuff, be honest. It's got to be that. You got to be a nutcase and talk crazy stuff. The whole arrow's about to slip. You just going to do it any day now. You got to come over here and buy some land. I got the right place right here. Come buy some land next to me. No, don't come over here where I'm at. I don't want a bunch of people piling in on me. I like my privacy. But anyway, so much for all that. I'm laughing, okay? To me, it's funny. But, it's also kind of tragic. But I just want to put that out there. So I probably won't get many viewers past my little rant here. So anyway, let's get with it. Let's get with the news. Sorry about that. Maybe I should have saved the rant for the end. But then those guys are never watching. Here's nothing. People comment on my videos. I've even had people comment in the comment section on my videos that I posted. Like one guy saying, "Hey, I'm not worried about humanoid robots. What about the dog robots?" And like the one I just posted, up, they're in the video. In fact, I've talked about those darn dogs and wolf robots many times. Come on, guys. At least watch my videos before you comment. Actually, I said that to me. Probably unsubscribed. I said, watch a comment. Watch the video before you comment. And a lot of people, when you post stuff on Facebook, they'll see a thumbnail or a title, and they know everything about the video. And most of the time are dead wrong. No, that's it. But it's this. That's what the video was all about. That's what I said. Anyway, yeehaw. So much for that. Uh, I don't know. After that tirade, I don't even know if I can talk about this stuff. Is Europe finally taking the war to Russia? This is somebody. This is coming out of this little rag called The Week. Some people really want to poke the bear. There's a range. That's a nice range. It's dug in the pit. And ain't nothing downrange from it. That, will help keep ammo from going far away, but it's not a deep range. Man, when I was in the Army, we practiced some 400-yard ranges a lot. Seriously. We had to qualify and get our qualifications on ranges where all the targets were 400 yards out. Anyway, so this guy's basically making a comment that, hey, European Commission is moving ahead with plans to further fund Ukraine. And, what they're doing also, and they're talking about Russian hybrid attacks on European countries, GPS jamming, drone buzzing, election interferences, all things they're saying, shipping aircraft incursions, shining lasers on pilots and aircraft have been going on for years. But the sheer scale and frequency right now is unprecedented, says Victor Jack and Laurel Kayalali, however you said it. Anyway, so this is what they're claiming to Politico. This is not Politico. This is some other rag that's picked up a story to Politico. Anyway, it says such an aggressive testing of Europeans' limits has prompted calls to step up the response, with ideas ranging from joint offensive cyber operations to surprise NATO-led military exercises, preemptive strikes, which, there's been a ton of articles on this, a ton of articles. This guy here come out and said it. And a ton of articles. NATO warns it may hit Russia first. And yet, put this out there on some Facebook group, and people said, where do you get this? This is all lies. What the heck? Oh, we're having a page hang up. Anyway, I don't know, guys. Can't satisfy everybody, but some people got their heads in the sand. I don't know. It must be a blissful thing to keep your head in the sand and just be a daisy. I'd rather be ready for whatever may come. That is where I'm at, as best as I can. I mean, why do you think I'm living off grid right now? There's easier things a person can do. But it's not that bad, but it's not as easy as just, hey, I had to turn on my generators last night and this morning because we had clouds so long yesterday. I was almost down to half capacity on my batteries. There's things you got to do extra when you're living off grid. A lot of things. Anyway, yeah, NATO is ready to do what it takes to protect Europe, according to this. And Russia denies rejecting peace plan as it happened. Well, I don't know, guys. So there's just all kinds of stuff out here along these lines. Hungary and Slovakia challenge the EU plan. They're not on board with it. Not everybody in the EU is on board with what NATO's putting out. But anyway, but Putin says he's going to take Donbass by force or the Ukraine troops can withdraw. So he's saying, we're going to take it. Will they take it by force or you can withdraw and just let us have it? And quite frankly, probably will. They've just taken a couple of major hub cities there, which is going to give them access to move a lot faster than what they have been doing. But then, on and on. NATO power of here's the thing. Russia is accusing because like France is giving some new weapons to Ukraine and saying, look, the Ukrainians don't have the knowledge of these weapon systems. You're going to put French soldiers in Ukraine to do that, and we consider that an act of war. So uh, this is what Russia, Putin, and the crowd is accusing a lot of the NATO nations, especially right now France in this case. Uh, the whole reason they went into Ukraine was to try to keep NATO out. That was the biggest reason. I've talked about that many times. So every time NATO's peace plan is we're going to put troops in Ukraine to secure Ukraine, that's a no-go for Russia. That will make Russia want to take all of Ukraine and maybe hit Europe. I'm seriously, that's a big no-go for Russia. They're not going to go there. And, here's the other thing. Ukraine, the Europeans just says, well, this is not fair to Ukraine or whatever. Well, it don't matter. Russia is not going to settle your other terms. It just ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. And unless you want to go to full-blown war with Russia and then see what happens, but that's nuts. But, Europe may be that nutty. I don't know. It seems like they want war. Russia wants World War III, as it claims Europe is actively preparing for inevitable war. And this is, the language we've been seeing out of Russia for a while, and it seems to be coming out. So Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Grushko thinks there's a deliberate preparation underway for the economy, society, and military organization for an inevitable armed conflict with Russia. Honestly, it does look that way. You see the stuff Europe's doing. I don't know. Tell me in the chat room if you think that Europe ought to go to war with Russia, put a 1 in the chat room. If you think they ought to calm down, put a 2 in the chat room. I'd like to see what y'all think about it. Y'all tell me. All right. And now we got the Belgian Prime Minister saying that Russia will not lose in Ukraine. Interesting. Interesting. So, and this red line here is where the troops are. This gold colored regions is what Russia expects to get in negotiations. So maybe they give up this little corner here. They want Luhansk and Donetsk more needed, but also Zaporizhia, Kherson, now and Crimea particularly. Crimea, Donetsk, and Luhansk is their main. This is the Donbass region. This is the main thing they want. They want this territory right here. There's been some suggestions, or at least Trump tried to get them to negotiate to hold the line where the red line is in Zaporizhia and Kherson. They might agree to that. Of course, they've said that Trump's proposal was a good start, but they supposedly didn't agree with it. But right now they got the upper hand. So they don't have to, really. They got the upper hand at the moment. So in Trump's lingo, they have the cards. Anyway, all the craziness going on. Some people are let's hear this Economic Times article says silver is going to hit $60 per ounce as metals enter a breakout month. Some people say it could go to 75 or it might drop to 40. There was another article claiming that. But most of them seem to be on the bullish side. As you remember, this guy Chambers said that he's not going to sell until it reaches $95 a troy ounce because that's where he's expecting it to go. And then we've got silver's perfect storm while the white metal is poised for historical breakout. A lot of people are saying it's going because it's an industrial metal. It's in high demand. India is needing lots of it, apparently, so they got a huge demand for it. And, it's used in making solar panels and a lot of other things in electronics industries. A surge in demand for EVs, electric vehicles, AI data centers, which we're building hand over fist around the world. And it may literally be around the world. If you watch my Galactic Greg's video I just put out, they're talking about building them in space now. And China's buying supports a strong, long-term bullish outlook for silver. Now, I'm not a financial analyst, and sometimes these articles can be wrong. But that seems to be the vector where things are heading. I mean, that's all you can really do is look at trends and make sense out of it for yourself. But anyway, so physical is king. Don't own silver certificates on the real stuff. This is what they're saying. India's silver demand collides with a 25-year supply gap. That's what I'm talking about. India is a big driver in this. So, along with many other countries. So, and this article claims the gold bull market's only just begun. They're expecting gold to keep going up. I don't know, guys. It's pretty high right now, but most analysts, most of them think it's going up. Hands down, most of them. Just a few are a little wishy-washy about it. I don't know. Well, past performance is not an indicator of future performance. I'm not a financial analyst, but it's interesting. To me, I don't think a lot of people. What are you going to invest in? The stock market? I think that's very speculative. Bitcoin, which is like a carnival ride up and down roller coaster, up one day and down the next. Who knows where it's going. That's why it's hard to trade in it because, how do you base your work or what you sell? Anyway, I like defythegrid.com. And why I like them is you can buy coins, rounds, silver, gold, platinum, palladium. You can get all this stuff here. And they got the deal. If you find a better deal anywhere else, they'll meet it or beat it. Who else tells you that? Who else tells you? And they can do that because they only operate on a 1% margin. No, excuse me. They operate on a 3 to 4% margin, but still, they're willing to give you 1% back if you use discount code Green Gregs. Now, some people, 1%, what's that? Well, when you got already better this kind of deal, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Beats a poke in the eye. They can't do a lot more because they don't have the margin. That's why they make you such good deals. Anyway, and you could consider things like, I like the gold backs and their silver backs here. Check that out, guys. The Arizona editions are out. And this one is 1/2 of a troy ounce. That's what, that was the price I paid for this one, a couple of years ago. This is 1 troy ounce. See how much gold has gone up? A lot. You get 1 troy ounce for 8 to 12. But you want to buy more than one because you want to buy a few to cover, so it spreads out and amortizes your shipping cost. But these are interesting because they're fungible. They're also collector's items. They're art, and they're only going. They change it up over time, so that there are actually collector's items. So that's kind of cool. But this is something you can barter with, like for bread, eggs. $4. Yeah, that's pretty good. But anyway, use discount code Green Gregs if you're interested in that. And that's the one thing that a lot of people seem to be interested in right now. Why is this article not scrolling? Am I stuck? Yep, we're stuck. Stop the share. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why. Oh, I see. It was trying to open a stupid ad on me. Some kind of underwear. I don't buy women's underwear. Things sure don't need none of that. I mean, like any kind, to be honest. Let's just go back here. Let's do a share again. Let's see if we can get this article open. Junk ads, they pop out sometimes. So, China's 4th aircraft carrier looks like it's going to be nuclear powered. And this is so they can break out and travel the Pacific, the Indian Ocean, wherever they want to go. The other aircraft carriers are powered by I'll check the chat room in a little bit, guys. But like I'm right now just trying to get through the news. I don't want to be on here too late. In fact, I need to wrap this up. My tirade in the beginning was too darn long. So oh, I check to see how people voted when I asked. Arnold Smith thinks that is that an exclamation mark or a 1? Arnold, do you think that Europe needs to go in and attack Russia? I mean, at some point you do have to defend yourself. And there is a lot of stuff going on over there, but you got to be very measured with it. You're talking about poking the bear. Don't look pretty over there. Don't look pretty. That doesn't look pretty. Personally, I don't, because I think they're all crazy. I think the United States needs to get out of NATO. I think they're all have lost their minds. I don't think we need to be any part of it. I don't think we need to risk our country getting turned into a crispy critter over some little section of another country that apparently don't even want to be part of it. Some people differ opinion on here, but why do we need to risk our homeland over that? I don't see it. And spend tons of our money. We're already $38 trillion in debt. Anyway, Europe can handle it. It's Europe's backyard. Let Europe handle it, do whatever they want to do. And let's just stay out of it. But, to create a nuclear war, if we go to that, that's over differences in some few countries and put the whole world at risk of nuclear winter, radiation fallout. What rights that give anybody to do that? Nuclear weapons shouldn't, they're awful. Anyway, uh, pardon me. Pardon me. But I do. I think Europeans have lost their collective minds. But it's not just Europe. I had a cough. That's a sneeze. Excuse me, guys. What I'm sneezing for. Chinese and Japanese boats face off near disputed islands as the feud worsens. China and Japan's coast guards are giving different accounts of the confrontation they had at the geopolitically Diaoyu Islands, which is what China calls them, but I would call them the Senkaku. Senkaku is the Tokyo name for them. It's the islands that China is trying to claim, which is actually under control of Japan and globally recognized as being Japanese. So they're out there facing off, and it all boils down. Really, the tensions have went up since the Prime Minister of Japan has said, "Hey, if China attacks Taiwan, we're going to have to weigh in just for our own self-defense because it's going to devastate our country." And I hope that's enough to keep China from wanting to do it. But I don't know. Boy, China has thrown a conniption fit over it. And the fact they've thrown a conniption fit over it, the way they have, to the degree they have, which is off the wall, indicates that they actually plan to go in and hit Taiwan. That's the way I read it. But, here's Macaroni over here negotiating with Xi Jinping. God help my friends in Europe. This guy here is nobody's friend. I don't think he is either, to be honest. So I always refer to him as Macaroni. He is, in my book, a clown. And I hope the people in France will get rid of him. Anyway, he's over here trying to negotiate deals with this guy. And, why do you want to negotiate with the devil in the first place? But then again, he probably ain't much better. So there you go. Now, oh, come on, don't kill out on me. This darn article, is it doing that? Come back here. I want y'all to see this. Joe Rogan suspects AI could absolutely return as Jesus. My friends, Jesus is not going to come to you and return through the screen on your computer as an AI agent or AI anything. That ain't happening. Joe Rogan don't know where he's coming from here, or he's playing disinformation. I don't know what's going on. Jesus Christ will come back at the right hand of God the Father, will come back in the clouds at the right hand of God the Father for every eye to see. It's not going to be some little sleight of hand from AI. What you might get from AI is the beast. This is not the way Jesus Christ is going to come back. So the fact that they're putting this kind of stuff out there right now really concerns me. So there you go. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Now I got to throw something in there funny. Everything I do ain't fearmonger. Oh, yeah, it should be fearmonger. Pardon me, maybe I shouldn't show this because I only fearmonger. Leftist meltdown after Idaho bar announces Month of free beer if you help ICE find and deport illegal aliens. Oh, I think that's priceless. But I didn't say this. I didn't show you this because I'm only out here fear mongering. There's nothing. I never showed anything funny. I don't know, guys. These guys probably don't know because they probably click off after the first 3 minutes of any video I say, if they even do that. Now, get serious again. Former spy says the CIA can crash your car and spy through your TV. Now, is this news? Did y'all not know this stuff? I showed you a while back, 3 years ago, probably, showing you how China could hack your cars. And Snowden told us about our TVs and our phones many years ago. So if this is news to you, put a 3 in the chat room. But if you already kind of sort of knew this, put a 4 in the chat room. Guys, cars are hackable. Most of them. Not the old clunkers I drive. That's a good reason to stay with old clunkers. Yeah. Anyway, this is John how do you say that? Kiriakou, former high-ranking agent who led counter-terrorism efforts in Pakistan. Yeah, he just dropped the ball on this. And so he talked about them spying through your phone. It gets darker. Oh, yeah. They said they can take your car's computer, hack it, and make it drive into a tree off the road. Well, that movie from Obama, what would they call that movie? I forget the name of it. The one Obama actually funded, maybe directed a prepper type movie, which blew my mind. What do they call that movie? Anyway, they had all the Teslas piling up on the road. Nobody in them. Nobody driving them. They all just bam, bam, yeah, bam. So they were kind of giving you a hint there. What was the name of that movie? I can't remember. But anyway, somebody in the chat room, tell me the name of that movie. Disable the Bluetooth connectivity. There you go. Everything can spy these days and cameras everywhere. That's right. That's right. So, now most of you guys weren't surprised. Why? Because you watch me or probably other content like mine too. But I've been telling you guys this for a long time. It's news. No, it's not. That's why I showed it. It's kind of tragic, kind of scary, but it's kind of humorous that some people think this is news. Now here's another little wrinkle. They believe that volcanic eruptions led to the plague, according to new research. Now, this research is saying because suddenly crops are failing in Europe, they were getting crops out of the Black Sea region. And the Black Sea region had the plague bug out there amongst the rats, and they brought that virus to the rest of Europe. But what this article isn't telling you, and I've seen in other articles years ago, was they believe also that there was volcanic activity that lessened the UV coming through the atmosphere. When less UV, it'll enable diseases to propagate more, and that was also an issue. So it might have went hand in glove. But hey, did y'all see my little civilization cycles video? You need to. One of the worst things we've had in recorded history was the winters around 535 AD. There's a lot of articles saying that was the worst time to be a human. And my research says that if that happened today, civilization would cease to exist. That came from the AI I was running on it. All right. There was a earthquake warning that didn't take place. They thought there was going to get a 5.9 in Reno and Carson City, and they took it down. Okay. But now look at this. Wow, the Puerto Ricans are partying hard tonight. Well, they dancing up a storm. And we got this oddball place from earthquake. Louisiana. Might have to do with oil. And we got two of them right here. And Toya, Texas. Must be oil related. And we got one up here. Kansas gets along 2.8. Is that fracking? Now, this isn't right on the vertex, but it's close. So that Juan de Fuca plate, 2.6. And that's kind of close to the San Andreas, but not on it. That's not on it. One way up here, about the Yukon River, looks like. Eagle, Alaska. Oh, yeah, it's on the border up on the Yukon River. So let's back off. I'd love to go to Eagle one day. Then we got Kamchatka Peninsula area picking up again, but it's been real active since they had a huge earthquake there a few months ago. All right, Kermadec Islands, however you say that, 5.3. A lot of stuff over here in Indonesia, but nothing over 4 point. Nothing. Don't look like nothing's quite 5. One up here though it does. 5.8 up in China. Tummuks. Well, that's probably over in Uyghur country. Shouldn't be part of China in the first place. More land they absconded with. All right, let's look at space weather. We're going to be done with this stuff. I got to get in bed, guys. Anyway, oh yeah, what's the biggest comet? Let me get off this for a sec for y'all to see it. What is the biggest comet in the solar system right now? Anybody dare guess? At least according to this source. What's the biggest comet in the solar system? Anybody gonna dare guess? Oh, what's Jesse saying? Sorry, Jesse. Hmm. Well, Jesse is right. That there was, what's the whole story of Jonah? Jonah was to prophesy against Nineveh. If they didn't turn around, certain things were going to happen. Well, they had a big turnaround, and those prophecies did not occur. Jonah, the prophecy was so grave, he didn't want to give them to him. That's why he tried to escape. That's the whole story about the fish. He couldn't escape doing what he was expected to do. He had to prophesy, and he did. And it turned Nineveh. What was the other city? Nineveh being one of them. It was 2 cities. So we're not absolutely locked in. God gives us free will. God gives us free will. There are certain things that Jesus said have to happen, but how they happen and how it affects you can vary greatly. There's certain big picture things that will occur, but how it affects you and your loved ones is variable. Very variable. What Arnold said. Lucifer is a master of lies and deception and copies God's authority. Yes, you can expect the Antichrist is probably going to come back as Jesus. That's what I'm expecting. He's going to come down and pose as Jesus or claim to be better. I don't know what he's going to do, but you got to be very watchful. I'm going to tell you, he's not coming to you from an AI. He's not coming to you through an AI, guys. That is not happening. No way. So, Joe Rogan, wake up. You need to do some reading in the book. You need to read a good book. Oh, new comment. No, it's not new. Been here for a long time. It's not at all new. Been here for a long time. All right, nobody's guessing it. We'll have the egg guessing in a little bit. The planet Mercury. It's got a big trail of sodium coming out. I kid you not. This is the planet Mercury. It's got a nicer tail than 3i Atlas and no anti-tails. Well, it's natural, but it's emitting sodium and it's been taken away by the sun's solar wind. Sodium, Mercury's tail. So Mercury is the biggest comet in our solar system, planetary comet. Isn't that funny? And what you might not believe is that on average, Mercury's the closest planet to Earth on average, because Venus goes around the sun farther away than Mercury does. And of course, Mars gets way around. So the closest planet to Earth on average is Mercury. And Venus is closer than Mars on average. So go figure that. But also on Mercury and Venus, especially Venus, you can see the phase go through the phases, kind of like our moon. Why? Because it's between us and the sun. Anyway, for all my flat earther friends, the sun. Speaking of the sun, these ginormous sunspots are facing right at us. They must not be kinked up with major magnetic fields because the X-class flare predictions are only running about 25%. So people suddenly aren't all that excited. But those are some scary looking sunspots, guys. That is a huge group. It could do a lot of damage. Here's the funny thing. It was shooting off major flares that it's facing the other way, which really is interesting. There's been a lot of major flares facing away from Earth since 2012. And you got to wonder maybe if we're just being protected into some appointed time. I don't know. I mean, randomly just rolling the dice, he shouldn't always be on the other side. Some of those flares could have taken us down. The sun threw it on the other side, just even recently. And somehow I'm still talking to you over the internet, and the grid's not down. Thank the Lord. But there it is, guys. So yeah, this is more on Mercury's tail. Mercury's tail. So there you are, my friends. Now on the come over here and look at the probabilities of in 24 hours and 48 hours of M-class flare, X-class flare. The S-classes has already been predicted at 25%. Now we've seen some M-classes recently, 75%. The high latitudes have got a higher chance from 55 and 45%. Now that looks like it's backwards. Why more probability in 24 hours? And they think maybe it's better sooner than later. I don't know. It just looks kind of odd. But if you come back, they think we may have on the 7th, a G1 storm from a flare that they thought was going to miss us. And I think we may catch some of it. So they're predicting a G1 storm a couple days from now on the 7th, which is a very minor storm. Now looking at asteroids, there's nothing that we know of that's coming between the Earth and the Moon through the end of January. But we always find them after they pass by because there's still a ton of these smaller ones to discover. Excuse me. So there you go. I'm going to stop the share now. Hello. And I'm going to go over here and look in our chat room on the computer here instead of on my phone. I'll just pick a few. I'm not going to go through reading everything. We got KP Heathen's the first comment. Good to see you. Let's see here. And I am going to go into my email to see if anybody's seen anything through my webpage. That hadn't happened a lot. I just don't want to miss giving somebody credit. Where is my email at? Ding, 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 ding. There it is. Oh, we did. We got a donation. Who sent the donation? Kim Possible is in the house, folks. And she sent a really nice super chat. $35. Salute to Kim Possible. Thank you very much. She sent it through my website. So I'm glad she found us tonight. Maybe I've been too late for her. I tried to come in a little earlier tonight. So Kim Possible, thank you very much. Salute to Kim Possible. And that's why I check my email, guys. I love to give credit where credit's due. When somebody is supporting me, I will definitely give them a shout out. So let's see. Well, she might be in there. I haven't went through all the notes, so she might be in there saying something. But a lot of times she works, so it's hard for her to sometimes comment. Let's see here. We got Zen Jamin. Good to see you. He's always one of the first one or two people in the chat room. He's ready to come join the family here. Kathy Pittman, how you doing? And JoJo, New Days. Arnold, let them go, Greg. Don't let them use space in your head. Well, I'm just trying to set the record straight. Now, maybe that's a waste to do. But thank you, Northern Girl Hobbies, for sharing my links here. Thank you for that. How you doing, Northern Girl Hobbies? Hadn't seen you in a while. All right. Lash Landberg. You were in my chat a little bit earlier for the Galactic Grace Channel. Good to see you. Chewy Weather. Chewy supports me a lot. He sends me stuff. I'm no rocket scientist. That's why when Greg talks, I listen. Well, thank you, Zen Jammin. Appreciate it. I try to be accurate, you know. Arnold, there is secular prepping and spiritual prepping. Yeah, that's true. We need both to balance existence. Amen. But when secular prepping fails for whatever reason, spiritual prepper overrides. Amen. I got to agree with that. Your experience and wisdom is very pertinent to our present reality. Well, thank you. Uh, they think people who prepare live in fear. It's bingo, JoJo. Exactly. Hey, look, how many times, especially when I get in the video with Rex, we almost always wind up laughing. How many times have we done it? Rex sometimes will tell me, hey, Greg, this is a very serious topic. We need to stay serious in this video and not laugh. So bite your tongue. Let's be serious. Both of us wind up laughing and cutting up. We just can't help it. But, I can afford to. It's like back in school. Remember back in school, who was the jolly guy? It was a big guy with big muscles, a tall guy. Somebody that knows and nobody's going to bully them. They got nothing to worry about. So they're usually happy and jolly, and the little guys are, you know. So no, I wasn't a big guy in school, but I was always kind of middle. Uh, but in any event, that's the way it is. If you're prepped, you got a better peace of mind. That's one of the biggest reasons to prep is to get a peace of mind. It's because, okay, I know about this. If it happens, I got this. It don't mean you're going to make it, but it means you got a better shot. But then knowing you made it right spiritually with your maker, and I'm not going to tell you how to do that. This is not a religious channel. Then that gives you some extra confidence that even if I cease to exist in this corporal flesh capsule, that there's better things out there. You do what you can, especially for your family, your friends, yourself. But you got to kind of watch it. I have family in southern Arizona. Looking at the maps from the U.S., Arizona is a good place to be. I think I'm in a good place. The biggest challenge here is water. And I am planning to put up some really big rainwater collection in the not too distant future. I got rainwater collection. I do plan to expand that over time. Tiffany Hartman, Greg, it's good to hear you. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate that. I appreciate that, Tiffany. So let's see. When it hits the fan, the people prepared won't be panicking. I didn't tell you guys don't panic. There's been other channels that says don't panic now. I'll tell you when to panic. I never say that. I never say that. To get a lot more views than I get. And then people come on here and attack me. It's like, come on. Anyway, well, maybe those guys ran for the hills when I came out. When I came out of the gate with my guns blazing. You know what? One of my local friends calls me Yosemite Sam. Because he said something. I pulled out two, one out of each pocket. Two nugs. Yeah, I am well armed. And that's an understatement. Now, I don't pull them on people. I've even been in one of these, and when I had stuff in my pocket, I pull stuff like that. No, no, not for one of these. Now, there's some young kids or some thugs think that you always pull one. No, you don't. It's only if you're in a life-threatening situation, and that ain't life-threatening. Not unless you've been knocked down and people are kicking you in the head. That's life-threatening. But I ain't never been in that situation. Hope I never see it. Anyway, people love drama, not me, though. There you go, Tiffany. Glad to hear it. The dot, they refuse to allow us to talk about them ripping Gus off. Lion Rex, how you doing? Worms are the ultimate cleanup crew. They are. In a world where consumption is a primary economy, worms are forced to reckon with. Hey, I got worms. The video called I got worms recently. Yeah, they are trying to plan things out. But they, in the end, the forces of darkness don't win. Thank you, Jesse, for calling for the thumbs up. Sure, Sir Sean Connery. Who looks like that, Tiffany? Yeah, take D3. Oh yeah, vitamin D3. But you know you need to take it with K2. I can't hardly find K2. You need to take K2 with it. And you don't nobody sells K2 in the local stores. That got D3 everywhere. And even there's some of the online things that'll sell you D3 but not K2. You need both. And that bugs me. I got to find a good source for K2. I haven't found it around here. We're living in the echoes of times of Noah. Absolute corruption running rampant. All the 10 commandments being broken. Oh yeah. And they're telling you what's good is bad and what's bad is good. And that was predicted. That was very much predicted. Only the bankers will, hey, Jason, hadn't seen you in a while. Jason Smith's in the house. Only the bankers want wars. That's right. All wars are banker wars. Because they profit no matter what. Good to see you, Jason. I was missing you. Wonder what happened. Zelensky will refuse all peace offers. So far he has. But they're saying he's kind of agreeing with Trump now, but it's on an offer that Russia don't find it acceptable. Pelosi index. Oh my gosh, Jason. Tiffany, follow Nancy Pelosi. She gets all the stock tips. If you want to invest in stocks, I guess so. But she's about to be out. She's retiring, thankfully. Lordy. For sure you can't buy commando underwear. You know too much. Yes, commando. That's my style. I got no use for any kind. Palantir, there you go, Chew. Yeah, I got some. I gotta get it here. Just saying that, my thing made me cough. Macaroni is another Chamberlain. Yes, Jesse. Show absolute ignorance of the scripture. I guess you're talking about Joe Rogan, right? Yeah, absolute ignorance. Absolute ignorance. But Jesus absolutely come back as AI. No. No. All smart appliances can apply. My appliances are all dumb. I got no smart appliances. Not a one. Nope, not me. Leave the world behind. Thank you, New Days. That was the movie. Yes, that was the movie where they had all the Teslas hacked and they were all just driving them one after another, piling in to a big pile up. They were trying to tell us something. 888 plus 888 1776. Well, that's interesting. Lucifer is the master of light. I've already read that. Yes, absolutely, Arnold. All right, we got Tiffany and Jesse. Tiffany and Jesse Mills seem to be kind of going at it. Y'all be nice, play nice, people. We're all family here. Project Bluebeam. I can't believe Joe. What did Joe say? Somebody here? Yeah, they will try. Hey, there's Kim Possible. Wood stove and generator if need be. Hey, there's Kim Possible and generator. Yes, I got it in wood stove. I just got it put in. And I got generators. That's my backup for my solar. I got 9 kW solar, which is plenty of when the sun's shining, but I don't have enough batteries. The darn batteries are the expensive part. I need to get a couple more strings of batteries. What I've done is I've taken 6-volt golf cart cells and I stack them in to make 48-volt run, and I got 348-volt runs of that. So I got 24 6-volt cells out there, but they're only, when you do that, you only get the amp hours of one battery for each run. It's not, it don't multiply or add up. So that's all you get. So it's like I've got 3 batteries in terms of amp hours. I need to add a couple more. If I do, I'll probably be good. But that, what I've got, the batteries, that guy cost me $5,000, so it cost me probably another $3,000. And I ordered them through a place out of Georgia. I mean, I went online and scoured the whole country. I talked to all the suppliers around here, and the best deal I could find was out of Georgia. Real butter, amen. Real butter. Check local pharmacy. No, they don't have it. We ain't got much for local pharmacy. What used to be local pharmacy are shut down. The only thing I know around here now is Wally World for pharmacy. At least here local, unless I spend an hour and drive up to Sholo. Yeah. Let's see. There's always a war going on. Yeah, but that's been pretty much true, but it's, right now it's a lot worse. We got so much threats of war. Well, thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that. And I try to bring you guys, let you guys know what's happening, what's going on. I try to let you guys know what the trends are, what the possibilities are, the things to look out for. And that's why I did those big videos on robotics and genetic engineering. It sounds so sci-fi. And yet, look what the channel's doing right now. I just did this robotics update video today, put it out there, saying, they're way ahead of what I was projecting. Now, maybe the robots they're putting out there right now are not as good as what they're going to have, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if you look what's happened in the last 5 years, ooh, it's crazy. Deception, distraction, everywhere. Amen. Riverway Avenue. How you doing there? And along came Johns. That's my song, wasn't it? So, guys, just look how far AI and robotics is coming just the last 5 years. So we're going to be at 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. Where are we going? What's going to happen? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Rochelle, how you doing? Ring Raiders, I just PayPal you. Oh, let's go look. Yes, I got another one. Let's open that email. $20. Wow. Thank you so much, Rachel. Salute to you, Rachel. Thank you. Well, y'all made it a good night tonight. I really appreciate that. Rachel and Kim Possible, both of you. A smart man says, keep your head on a swivel. That's what I tell you guys to do. That's what I tell you to do. Stay situationally aware. I mean, and when I say that, we've had some people attacked lately. And in each case where this woman got attacked, one of them was stabbed, a little Ukrainian girl, and then another was set on fire. In both cases, they're sitting in a public space on a bus or a train, just like this. They don't know the world is around them, especially if you're in a public space. Hey, that guy behind her was quiet. He was like leaned up against the window, made it look like he was asleep. That's what evil does. Evil sneaks up on you. Evil can sometimes look like it's sweet and meek, but all at once that guy just jumped up and did a dirty deed. You got to be careful, guys, girls, especially you young ladies. I did one thing I warned you guys about, you ladies, in one of my previous videos. I-40 apparently is like a hub for abducting women, and they believe there's 500 serial attackers going up and down I-40, and they think most of them are truckers. Now, I used to run down I-40 a lot. So, guys, and they think Oklahoma's where most of it occurs. So, y'all need to be very careful, situational wherever you are. Maybe you ladies need to travel in pairs as much as you can. They're normalizing evil things. Yes. Welcome, Welcome. You're worth way more, though. Oh, well, thank you, Rochelle. Appreciate it. I really appreciate you and Kim Possible. Now, thank you so much. And Arnold is sending me some money through. I got to go pick it up. So thank you, Arnold. Uh, guys, we're despite all the things China, Japan, China, Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine, United States, and whoever else, Iran, Venezuela. The main conflict we have today is spiritual. Greg, for batteries, also check interstate batteries. Oh, I did. I did. I checked interstate batteries. I got a better deal. I got, and I was determined to use lead acid batteries because lead acid batteries don't have a battery management system chip in them. And if the grid goes down, the most expensive thing I got, if you have an EMP, is those batteries. So I don't want them fried. So thank you, Jess, for giving the thumbs up. One before in this week. I-40. Oh, well, if you're on I-40, be super careful. Be super careful. Even guys, sometimes these people are really twisted. So everybody needs to be on alert, especially if you're, got loved ones with you, keep an eye out for them too. But, most of these attackers are not going to go attack where there's two or more people. Occasionally they do. It does happen. There have been couples attacked and heinous things done. But just keep in mind to stay situation aware. I've always said if you're in a place and it looks sketchy, get out. Sometimes your intuition will tell you. It'll tell you, especially if you're right with the maker. Especially if you're right with, hey, we got Mary in the house. And she runs up and down I-40. She is a female trucker on I-40. Mary can tell us a lot, I'm sure. For those that don't know, she and Jason are a couple. Great couple. Jason from Green Country Agroforestry, not Jason Smith. Let's see, Rachel, I need to tell y'all some. I found out my grandpa, a downwinder, and my mom both got money for it. Grandchildren also do also. Every person in New Mexico is eligible that lived here during the 70s. Yeah. If you lived in New Mexico or Arizona when they were testing nukes in the area, you're considered a downwinder, and there's been incidences of cancer and things as a result of that. So there are money available for a lot of these people. Yeah, Mary is Tulsa Fox. Good to see you. Tell Jason I said hi. He's always provides a lot of good, insightful comments. Jason's one of the smartest men I've ever seen. So I use Lipsoma D3 with K2 on Amazon Green Bottle. Okay. Robert House, LGG House here. And married now. Okay, very good. Congratulations. Congratulations. So just I try to help you guys. And that's why I tell you, watch it on the I-40, stay situationally aware, keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel. That's my main moniker. I've been using that for a long time. And I tell you guys that because that's one of the biggest things. I mean, you go walking in a grocery store, you're in a parking lot, Walmart. Sometimes crazy stuff happens. And people come out and just start banging, you know, or they try to grab you or grab your purse, you ladies, or whatever. Kim's going to bed. Kim, everyone have a blessed and awesome day. Yes, Greg, you're a smart man. Well, thank you, Kim. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for the super chat, Kim. Thank you, Rochelle, for the super chat. Thank you, Arnold. I know he sent me. I got to go pick it up. I really appreciate y'all. Can't process vitamin D. I need a lizard lamp. Lizard. Okay, whatever that is. All right. All righty, folks, we're going to go. We've beat on this horse a lot already, and it's already 74 minutes. I thought I could get by tonight with 30 minutes. Getting married is easy. Staying married is hard. That's the truth. That's the truth. Amen to that. And that's the main thing. If you're going to get married, you want to do it in a way that you know you're going to stay married, that will last. And that is the hard part. Arnold really said it. Marriage is a luxury item. Yeah, it's a luxury I don't have right now. But yes, a lizard lamp. Marriage is a necessity, a luxury item and a necessity. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, well, Kim Possible going to work, Tiffany. Hopefully they'll have power. All right, guys, and that's nothing. The weather is dicey. We're having extreme cold snaps in the east. It's going to get down to 20 here at night tonight, right here, 20. I've got right now my propane heater burning over here, my buddy heater. So your husband left you for a lesbian. Well, God bless you, Rachel. Wow. God bless you. Like I said, well, it's a spiritual challenge we're in, people. It really is. Yeah, it must be a rough one just to handle psychologically. But just you got to personally be right with your maker. I'm on Camp Verde. Oh, you're close to me. Well, how about that? Rachel Lee, you're over here close to me on Camp Verde. All righty. You're a neighbor practically. Yeah. So tell you what, for you folks that are close by, there's several people in the chat room from time to time that's close by. Have a have a buddy heater too. Okay. Yeah, I got a little one and a big one. I don't think the chat room is I'm gonna put my email in here in the chat room for those that are close by. Maybe we can meet it. There's a coffee store shop in Snowflake called the Purgatory. Very good. I can't even remember my email. And it's a real simple email, just like my channel. All right. Email and say hi. And who knows, maybe one day we can meet up at the coffee shop. So he thought he could fix her. How sweet. Heart. Yeah. Yeah, but you don't leave a wife to, I don't know. Oh well. Yeehaw. He thought he could fix her. Well, that's like jumping I don't know. I don't say that's jumping in the fire. Yeah. Anyway, folks. Oh, I'm on here as Galactic Greggs. That's funny. I didn't realize I was in there's Galactic Greggs. Easy email. Exactly. Baby girl, how you doing? Oh, you got two of them. Well, I got a small one that's got one burner, and then I realized I needed a bigger one. I got a two burner one. I didn't see the two burner ones when I bought the one burner one. But when I bought the one burner one, I got that one at Wally World, and which I hate shopping at Wally World. Like I said, I'm gonna try to bring you guys some stuff where you don't have to shop at Wally. In fact, most of my shopping, I do get a lot of stuff outside there. I got a special deal where I buy from an American company now. It's a family-owned company. Everything's made in America. It's organic, no chemicals, so it's a lot better stuff. I'll try to bring that stuff to you in the near future. But anyway, so when I got my buddy Peter, I bought what was supposed to be the connector at Wally World, and it didn't work. And then I go to Ace Hardware and they go, no, you can't use those. This is one to use, and I got it and it worked. So I don't know, Wally World. I don't have people know. You have a small one. I got a small one and a big one. And and that's kind of nice. I got a backup, basically. Got a backup. That's good to have. And I got a wood stove. I just got to get my firewood now. And I'll be good to go. The wildlife are not used to the massive storms and will move to different locations, which means at crossroads. Bingo. you got to watch out for some wildlife, deer and stuff crossing. Right here, we got elk and antelope. You got to watch out for them. But the worst thing I ever ran across is when I lived in Alaska. Moose. The New Days lives in moose country. I'm gonna tell you something. If you're in country, maybe you're traveling, you're going up north, and you encounter moose. You see a moose on the side of the road. Stop. It may be standing on the side of the road. You may be thinking it's just gonna stand on the side of the road. No, you see a moose on the side of the road. Stop. I am serious. Just stop, because that moose is gonna sit there and watch you. And what it will do is wait till you're right up on it, and it will step out in front of you. They do that. They do it every time. It's like, you do not want to hit a moose. They got legs that are taller than the hood of your car, and they weigh a ton or two. So if you hit them, it's coming into you got 2 tons of meat coming in on you through your windshield, and it's not going to be a pretty picture. It ain't like hitting a white-tailed deer, my friends. It is some serious juju. I had a buddy, a coworker, when I was up at Fort Greely. He hit us, so he tried to slow down, to keep the thing coming up. But he hit a moose. He said the moose like looked at him and swished its tail and just kept on going. He said he got in the front of his car, was all crumpled down. So they're like giant squirrels. Yes, moose are huge. Moose are huge. There's something you do not China world. Oh, yeah, you do not want to hit a moose. Oh my gosh, guys, watch it. Just be careful. You don't want to hit any wild animal. The moose is the worst thing you can imagine. Holy smokes, the elk is pretty bad. Yeah, there's elk around here, and mule deer. I seen a buck mule deer just right up here. Nice rack on him. Nice rack. Flagstaff has red eyes, and I reckon that Sabrams, all of Arizona, scared me bad when I was 5. But what is red eyes? What do you call them red eyes, Rachel? The moose eyes don't reflect like a deer. They're more like a bull, orangish red reflection. All right, Rachel, you're going to tell me about some of the local lore. Apparently, you know some things here. Red eyes. That's a new one to me. That's Sobrom's, all of Arizona. Oh, Bigfoot. Hmm. Been there, done that. Thanks. Thanks, and at work in Loveland, Colorado. All right, Robert. House. That'll come up to my semi truck window. Wow. How about that, Mary? I tell you what, driving up I-65 when you get north, way north up in state of Illinois, I have never seen it look like a slaughter. I've never seen so many deer on the road. Oh my God, it looked awful up there. Saw Bay. Did you see one, Rachel? I have to tell you about an encounter. I have a moose hanging out in my yard. I wished I would. You wish you would leave so I can go out there. Yeah, you got to watch out. Now, here's another thing. The most deadly animal in Alaska. They got bears in Alaska. They got bears that will eat you. Polar bears up north. Big brown bears in the south. I mean, they're bigger than grizzlies. And they got grizzlies. And they got black bears. And wolves. Eagles. The most dangerous animal in Alaska. What takes more people out than anything else, aside from the skeeter, is moose. Don't take them for granted. My peeps hang up some Irish Spring. There you go. I did. It kept the deer out of my garden for maybe a week or two. Then I got used to it, I guess. One is nose, two equals one car is useless. All right, folks. So I need to go. We need to go. It would throw rocks at our roof and pace around the cabin. Oh, smell like antiseptic. Yeah, that's if you smelled that, you smelled it. As they're in the South, they call them skunk apes. But mice hate Irish Spring too. That's interesting. Skunk apes, because they stunk. But apparently that's a defense that keeps mosquitoes away. Believe it or not, keeps mosquitoes away. Apes. Upstate New York, white-tailed deer will take out your car. Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. And the further north you get, the bigger the deer are, even whitetails. If you go down to Florida around the Cape Kennedy Launch Complex, they got white-tailed deer there too, but they're like about like a dog. They're just so tiny. It's amazing. It's like these are deer. Can't let my dogs out. Okay, my peeps. Yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, moose can get your dog too. So a few times we saw the eyes up in the tree. Hmm. Mm. Well, I got a tell I can tell. I don't know if I'm gonna do it here tonight, but well, oh, actually in the tree. Not actually in the tree. Okay. All right, Rachel. Rachel Lee. Guys, we need to go. I gotta go. I gotta get up early in the morning. I gotta get some shut eye. I was tired once. Oh, we gotta do the egg guess. How many eggs I get to give the day for my hens? I got 12 hens. We're in that time of the year when they don't all lay as much. Nowhere near it. So they're sitting the big laying time of the year. How many eggs I get today, folks? I got them right here. How many eggs to harvest today? Y'all guess. First one gets, oh, I can't use that egg. It's got a hole in it. I guess I'll feed it to the ravens. Not three. Keep guessing. Keep guessing. I got three yesterday. A few days ago, I got five. Keep guessing. Not four. Keep guessing. Keep guessing. All right, y'all repeating guesses. You got to pick something new. Pick another number, folks. No, not seven. I wish. Bo, there we go, Arnold. One. I got one egg. That's all I got today. One egg. I only got a feather on it. I just recognize it's got a hole in the top. I can't use that egg. The Ravens get it. I got a hole in it. Wasn't there one earlier? Maybe I dinged it with something. Yeah, Arnold got it. No. Let's see, where was it? Yeah, Arnold got it. One egg. Arnold got it. All right, Arnold, you got it. One egg. Y'all still guessing. I guess we got a delay here. Hey, zero is often is sometimes that's the number. Sometimes it is zero, but I got one egg. I got two today. Well, good. It's awesome, Rachel. All righty, folks. Well, we'll have to share gardening and chicken notes or something. Or maybe wildlife stories. Sounds about right. I'm not getting any. Well, that's the egg laying goes down this time of the year. The guy I got them from said in the summer they're probably weighing 12 to 14 a day. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, all righty, folks, we're going to call it a night. We've been on a lot longer than I meant to be. I get talking to you guys. I just can't help it. I love you guys. I really do. Baby girl, guessing one. Well, Arnold already guessed that, but that is the number. So, yeah, I get chatting with you guys. I love you guys. Y'all, we're all family here. As in Jim and always tells us when he comes in. I'm trying to get quail. Hey, I'm interested in quail. When I was a kid, I set everything up to have a big quail raising thing. I got me an incubator, and as soon as I got it, this girl wanted to borrow my incubator. And then she wouldn't get back to me. I kept asking, where's my incubator? And she kept stalling me. Turns out she broke it. She busted it. Had several game hens. I had game when I was a boy. And I did nothing with them. They just ran in the yard. I didn't feed them or nothing. Nothing ever hurt them. I think the first week, half my chickens got wiped out. They weren't on games. But after that, the chickens survived. Nothing bothered them. They were tough. They were so tough, it was unbelievable. Nothing bothered those game chickens. I'll tell you one little story. My dad finally got tired of them. I would sell the roosters from them. I had boys would come by and say, hey, I'll pay you for a rooster. So I'll climb up the tree and get it and then roast tonight. So here's the funny story. The My dad got tired of them. He said, Greg, your chickens are picking up my garden. I want you to take them out. He said, I'll give you $100 to bang them all. Bang, bang. I said, okay. So I went out and with my nug and I took out every chicken except there was this one hen had 12 little bitty chicks running around her. I took her out. I go, well, that's it. Those chicks won't survive. I don't have to go out and bang each one of those chicks. They're not going to survive. All 12 of them grew up. All 12 survived. And every one of them was a rooster. 12 roosters. It was unreal. And there were no hens around no more. Those roosters fought each other. Oh my gosh. Whew. Eventually I sold them all off. But that was something. I want the black ones so the hawk won't mess with them. That's a good idea. I've heard that. Even the wild chickens in Florida. Ever see them? No, I didn't see wild chickens there, but that's about what a game is. It's basically like a wild chicken. They're tough. Anyway, guys, let's go. But yeah, all quail died out on the rim. Oh, we used to have quail where I grew up. Lots of them. You'd hear the cubs, you'd hear the bob whites. When coyotes got in there, they wiped them out. And they were there through the probably the 90s, but at one point they all got wiped out. No more wild quails, and that's sad. On the rim due to snow and freeze. Foghorn leghorn. There you go. I got one leghorn hen. I got some Easter egg hens, and all the rest of them are Dominickers. Anyway, there was an old chicken house that went out of business. Most of the chickens they put up at the truck stop. Then the chickens started panhandling at the truck. They started panhandling. Oh, I can believe that. All right, guys, let's call it a night here. Uh, oh yeah, I forgot I'm supposed to be fear mongering. So they're cutting up and laughing. Oh well, I messed up. My bad. My apologies. Anyway, folks. Uh, hey, I want to thank all you for coming in and watching tonight. I want to thank Kim Possible's already gone, but I'll give her another thank you. And Rachel, thank you for the super chats. Arnold, uh, and I get a lot of stuff sent to me from my friend Chewy Weather. So I want to thank all you guys. Chewy sent me coffee, a bunch of coffee not long ago. So I just want to thank everybody here. I live off coffee, guys. They're wild all over the Keys. Oh, okay. Keys. I haven't been down in the Keys. I've been down, Mexico Beach on one side, and on the other side, Cocoa Beach. That's about as far down before. Oh, I have been to Miami. Take it back. Have been. I flew in. Have been to Miami. Anyway, so folks, thank y'all for watching. Share my videos. This one's went long, so it won't get as many watchers, but I really appreciate y'all. Yes. Oh, we got a super chat in the house here too. Your Santa Claus beard is better than mine. Killer Kyle. How you doing, Killer Kyle? Salute to you, Killer Kyle. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's funny. That's a fun one. Ho, ho, ho. I am Santa Claus. I got to put some more lights up. See, I got my little bottle over here. Can y'all see that? That came to me from the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. They had a YouTube channel for a long time. Uh, anyway, Randy used to come in the house a lot. He was from the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. His wife actually made that up for me, though. And I'm going to put some lights up around my bookshelf like I used to. So I'll be doing that soon. Kathy Pittman, not all. Yes. Alrighty, folks. Again, keep your eyes wide open, my head on the swivel. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you, mods, for keeping the channel clean. And thank you, super chatters. Killer Kyle, thank you. Rachel, thank you. Kim Possible, thank you. Arnold, he sent me something. I just got to go pick it up. So with that, I'm going to say to one and all, a good night good day wherever you are. Ho, ho, ho. In memory of Granny Lana. God rest her soul. And with that, I'm going to say, if I can get the button to work. Oh, sometimes these buttons.